Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We are gonna run chapter 8.4.5 Interstellar Intensity path. It's one of the harder paths in all of 8.4, but I will give you some cheese option for it. The defenders are going to be Warlock, Namor, Darkhawk, Stryfe, Vision, and Moondragon with Jessica Jones as the boss. The nodes are Interstellar Intensity, Shed Skin, Fight or Flight, Boost Buff Unstoppable, Adamant Axiom, and Special 2 Bias. Now, right off the bat, the relics are not required, but if you bring in, they will definitely help. So make sure that you have your highest rarity relics equipped. And the cheese option for this path is going to be a Magneto. 4 out of the 6 fights are metal, so he will do amazing. The boost and masteries are your regular ones, and if you don't have Magneto, you can bring in anti-robot champions that have Furies, because 3 of these defenders are robotic champions. If not, finally you can bring in champions with Fury as well, mostly your cosmic champions with Odin's Synergy, and they should work really well. The boss island is going to be Jessica Jones, more on her later in the video, so let's jump into the path and check it out. Fight number 1 is going to be against a Warlock. He is a metal champion and also a robot champion. So you can either bring in an anti-robotic champion or you can bring in Magneto and you can get this fight done. Now this whole path is annoying because one of 2 reasons. First, there is protection that reduces your damage on the opponent, so it takes longer for you to kill them unless you have an intensity buff. Now to get the intensity buff, you have to have Furies on yourself. And once you get a Fury, you get intensity buff for only 20 seconds. So you need to have continuous Furies on yourself that refresh. So that becomes very annoying. On top of that, there is also Unstoppable. For every 12 seconds, if you're near the defender gets unstoppable. If you're far away from the defender, you get unstoppable. And that comes very annoying to deal with all of those Furies to manage and also unstoppable. So the best answer is, in my opinion, Magneto for this path. He just cheeses everything. You build up to an SP3, build up to 40 of those charges on prowess and let it rip, and he can kill off Warlock in one go. But make sure when you are going to throw your SP3, there is no infection on you, so the potency cannot be reduced. So just here, I'm waiting for him to throw an SP2 out. Now I'm gonna parry, long hold the heavy attack, so I can multiply my prowess. Now at 22, heavy again, and there we go, 1 SP3, and he is going to be dead. Now if you don't have a Magneto, anti-robotic champions like King Groot work, Medusa also works, so plenty of different options. Venom Pool is another option that can work with. Now next up is going to be a Namor, and I am going to use Hulkling. This is one of the 2 fights that is not metallic, so I'm not going to be using Magneto for that. What I'm doing here is I'm going to bring Hulkling here because he has a lot of buffs and he also has a Fury when he throws an SP2. And I've started off with Fury. I've started off with pre-fights from Odin that improve your Fury. You can also get a relic with Thor on Hulkling, and that will also help you out. But mostly what you need to do is build up to your SP2, hit Namor in the block and throw an SP2 when you go unblockable, so the 2 Furies to get their potencies increase and you finish off the fight very quick. I just ate an SP3, but look at that regen. I am getting back up to full health in no time. So Namor, do not use any kind of damage over time champions, because when he dashes in, he returns the damage on you. That's the only thing to take care about. And just like that, I'm going to throw a special attack with the unblockable, and with the 2 Furies I get 2 intensify buff and all the extra damage, extending it with the striker, and just like that he is going to be dead. Just make sure that you look at the unstoppable and you should be good. There are plenty of other champions that you can use also, just your regular cosmic champions with Furies, and you should be able to get through that fight. The fight number 3 is going to be against a Darkhawk. Now Darkhawk is also a robotic champion. I just waited in the beginning for a second so I can get the metalize on him, magnetize. Once that is there, it's now just a regular parry and heavy. Build up to 10 of those prowesses and then multiply them with once you have them 40 prowesses, throw an SP3, and that's how Darkhawk is dead. Now notice that I have an Emma Frost on my team. What she does is gives 40% extra potency and armor break to Magneto. So that helps doing more damage during the SP3 with all of those 40 armor breaks, especially when it's a robot. So something you can bring along too if you like. I brought it along because my Magneto is only a rank 3, which is not enough firepower to take this high HP of defenders. More options are going to be your anti-robotic champion. So somebody that works really well here is going to be your Gamora, your Medusa. All of those champions work, but there's a one dark horse that works really well. You can bring in Angela, and Angela removes all the auto blocks. She reduces the chance of it, and once she has 3 buffs at 6 to 100, Darkhawk will not be able to auto block, so she works really well. You combine that with Odin's energy and you are in for a treat. Now, in my opinion, this is the most tricky fight on all of 8.4, and it's quite annoying to deal with because you need to avoid the unstoppable. You do not want to give it to Stryfe, but if you have unstoppable, you cannot parry because Stryfe's own ability stuns you passively and removes the unstoppable. So it's a very thin line that you have to be around, unstoppable or not, and the window in which you can actually do damage or you build prowess is going to be very small. And you have to keep an eye on his psychic charges. If he has 3 psychic charges, he's going to remove the unstoppable from you and he's going to stun you. So this fight does take longer and it's more annoying to deal with. Now you can bring in other champions that can work. So for example, you can bring in Angela here. She can work too. You can bring in Human Torch, but with that you will need synergy of Heimdall and Angela. So Heimdall and Angela's synergy essentially gives you Fury whenever you will dash back, but it's not that sustainable if you're wondering. So your better options are going to be your cosmic champions with Furies that can counter miss. Now that is a very short kind of a short window in which very few champions fit in. So you have Hercules that fits that description, but for Hercules you will need Angela and Odin synergy. Same goes for Red Goblin. You will need the same synergy because they have true sense, so that helps you. But trust me, to make it much more easier, just bring up a Magneto. And if you have a Magneto and you've not invested any kind of catalyst or level up on him, I would say a rank 3 Magneto does the same job as a rank 5. So just go ahead and bring him at least to rank 3. There are so many metal champs that just Magneto shuts down. So you will not regret that level up. I would say only from this path you will save a lot of revives and a lot of units. So if you have a Magneto, just go for it and don't think about it again. Next up is going to be a Vision. Now he is a robot champion and metal all along. All you need to do is to bait his first SP2 out because he gets the synthesis before he gets magnetized. Once that is done, then it's a simple parry and heavy game and getting up to 40 prowesses and throwing an SP3 with Magneto, and that takes Vision out. If you don't have a Magneto, anti-robotic champions are your best friends. So for example, Medusa, Venompool, King Groot, Gamora, all of these champions do really well against robots, so you can bring them and you can easily bring him down. The only thing you have to care about is going to be the sudden rush of power he gets from synthesis. Like, I just got caught there, but I am using Magneto. It's not very prevalent, but if you're going to use another champion, especially anti-robotic, you need to get those armor shatter up on him, so that shuts down his abilities. Otherwise he can get a lot of power very quick. So just here I have 10 of those prowesses ready. Now I'm building up to an SP3, and once I have 40 prowesses, that would be the go time. I'm gonna throw my SP3, and those armor breaks on the SP3 will increase potency with the Emma Frost energy. They're gonna do some amazing damage. So there we go, 43 prowess, 1 SP3, and goodbye, Mr. Vision. No more vision for you. And the final fight before the boss is going to be a Moon Dragon. Pretty simple and straightforward fight. Both the specials can be easily evaded, but I would suggest you to keep to an SP1 because it's much slower and much easier to evade. I'm using Thor I am using Odin's energy, so I have all of those pre-fights active, so they're gonna help me. And I'm gonna build up to an SP2, making sure that I have all of those pierce buffs on me and all of those cruelty buffs on me, so when I throw a special attack, it does the maximum damage with the intensify. So just there I have my unblockable. Here I throw my SP2 and look at that damage. So yeah, just rinse and repeat that and you are able to bring down Moon Dragon quite easily. It's just about keeping her to an SP1, and I'm building up to an SP2, just a regular Hulkling shenanigans, and we are good to take her down. The boss is going to be a Jessica Jones with Dawn of Intensity, Hurt Locker, Ricochet, Striker Vulnerability, Poison Immunity, and Adamant Axiom. Now, this node is just like AQ. She will gain Furies every, I think, 10 seconds. And she will keep gaining them just like AQ unless you do a medium ending combo or a heavy attack or a special attack. These are the 3 ways you can remove those Furies. So this is, you have to look at the prompts and you have to keep the Furies in check. You won't get to do the same action again unless all 3 of them are done beforehand. So you have to be careful about that. Plenty of options with Valkyrie. The difficult part with Jessica Jones, she goes unstoppable. So you need champions that can counter that. I'm going to use a Valkyrie in front of you. She is a really cool option. I did mess up the fight quite a bit, to be honest. I should have played more in the block and I would have gotten her easily as a solo. But some other options that work really well are going to be your Baron Zemo. Now Baron Zemo, twice when you do an SP2, he applies Decelerate 2 times and that stops all the unstoppable, and the regular bleeds, the permanent bleeds, will take out Jessica Jones. Another good champion that works well is going to be Shang-Chi. Start off with the slow and then you can just keep building up all of your different cheese and then a big SP2 at the end of it. As long as she's slow, she's not unstoppable, you should be good, and you can naturally run around with the Fury cycle and how to control it. Another good option that could work could be Stealth Suit Spidey with the counter to unstoppable and the heavy attacks needed. And Hawkeye is another good option because he applies slow on heavy. So any champion that applies slow can work for this path. So that's the only things you need to take care about. Take care about the unstoppable and also take care about the Furies not getting out of hand. Otherwise, one hit or one kind of hit in your block, you are going to be dead. And finally, there is going to be Hurt Locker, so you will have to alternate your specials. If you throw the same specials twice in a row, you are going to get 50% of your health as damage, and that's going to really hurt and it's going to be really annoying just losing your health out for nothing. So just be careful about that, and the rest should be pretty straightforward. I say that, but she is a difficult boss if you don't bring in the right counter. So please make sure that you bring in a science champion with a good slow that can deal with her and kill her off. Even it's going to be a slow fight, but you will get there eventually. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you found it helpful. I think this is the toughest path in 8.4. So if you get this done, the worst is just behind you. All you need to do is finish it up and move on to the next one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and you found it helpful and you found all the counters that we're looking for. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. I would love to help you out, and like the video guys. So many views but very little likes. I really appreciate some. Helps me grow the channel and with the algorithm and increase the reach of it, all of those shenanigans. So I hope you all have an amazing day and I'll see you next time. Bye.